In the BRC chairman's interview with Dos por Dos on DCRH as early as July 31, 2025, he alleged that there are at least 60 sitting congressmen who also acted as contractors of infrastructure projects in their own districts. In a press conference and in a press release dated August 10, 2025, posted on the Senate website, the BRC chairman disclosed that House members called him and that he had a list of 67 congressmen who did not summon them to any BRC hearing. Why did he not name them, to be fair to the rest of the members of the House of Representatives? In the sworn statement of the Diskaya, 17 congressmen were also mentioned. Why were not they asked to appear before the committee? On the other hand, the statements of former Yusek Bernardo and his cohorts Alcantara and Hernandez, who named certain senators upon the intercession of the Department of Justice, were readily heralded as gospel truth. The chairman of the BRC has also named at least 11 contractors in his first and second privilege speeches, whom he crucified to be involved in the flood control mess. Bakit hindi na sila ipinatawag? Bakit iilan lang mula sa 11 kontratistang kanyang tinukoy ang aktual na humarap sa pagdinig? Bakit namimili? Ano ang ibig sabihin nito? Remarkably, on November 14, 2025, the BRC chairman invited former Speaker Martin Romualdez to testify in its 7th hearing. He did not appear. Then on January 22, 2026, as quoted by various media outlets, the chairman said that former Speaker Martin will be invited again. If he wants to attend, he is welcome, but he cannot be forced to come due to interparliamentary courtesy. This doctrine can be challenged in the light of Section 27, Article 2 of the 1987 Constitution, which reads, "The state will maintain honesty and integrity in the public service and take positive and effective measures against graft and corruption." This doctrine, Mr. President, which is not even part of our rules, is not absolute and should not prevail over a clear and categorical mandate of the Constitution. The members of Congress have no immunity from investigation, subpoena, or public scrutiny. If anything, those who occupy the highest offices in the government must be the first to answer, not the last to be asked. And on January 11, 2026, in a radio interview over DZBB, the BRC chairman said that there is no solid evidence linking former Speaker Martin Romualdez to the flood control controversy. This is deeply troubling not only for what was asserted, but for what was prematurely concluded because the records of the hearings clearly reveal otherwise. First, Gutesa, who appeared and categorically linked him to the controversy. Second, Saldico, in his several video feeds, identified him and others as the principal actor of this most despicable scandal. Third, at least 2 out of the 17 congressmen in Diskaya's list reportedly referred to Martin Romualdez. Sa mga unang pagdinig ng Blue Ribbon Committee sa ilalim ng pamumuno ng kasalukuyang chairperson, iminungkahi ko po, Ginoong Pangulo, na anyayahan din si dating Governor Luis Chavit Singson na nagpahayag din ng kahandaan at kagustuhan na dumalo upang tumestigo sa mga flood control projects sa Ilocos. Wala rin pong nangyari, Ginoong Pangulo. We are now seeing a clear pattern in this mambo-jumbo that whenever a witness points to former Speaker Romualdez as being linked to the controversy, the credibility of that witness is quickly placed in question. In an ambush interview at the Senate on November 14, 2025, by various media outlets, the BRC chairman clarified that a remote sworn testimony will be allowed only if Saldico appears before Philippine Embassy or Consulate, and a request for a Zoom meeting under oath will be valid. First, Saldico fears for his life and therefore he cannot go to any Philippine embassy. Kung si Gutesa nga ay bigla na lang naglaho na parang bula. Sa halip na suportahan at pakinggan ang mga naglalantad ng katotohanan, sila'y pinababayaan at nailalagay pa sa panganib. Second, the statement is incorrect because under the Apostille Convention, which the Supreme Court already implemented under OCA Circular number 210-2023, Saldico can take his oath before any commissioned notary in Portugal or elsewhere in Europe. He doesn't have to do it before a Philippine consular office. All he has to do is for his sworn statement to be apostilled in that foreign country, and it will have the effect of a statement sworn before a Philippine consulate. In the 8th hearing on January 19, 2026, The BRC chairman stated, let me emphasize the point, or one point. We always go wherever or where the evidence leads us. We do not target any particular person, nor do we have the intention to cover up for anybody. If that is truly the guiding principle of this investigation, Mr. President, then several matters should have been highlighted and pursued with equal vigor. For instance, on November 18, 2025, he made a revelation during the plenary debates of the 2026 budget on general principles in the presence of DBCC officials. Sinabi niya na base sa usapan nila ni Yusek Bernardo, meron siyang may mga taong nagne-name drop sa Pangulo, tulad ni na Yusek Adrian Bersamin at Yusek Traigib Olaybar, na nagutos kay Saldico na ipasok sa BICAM yung insertions ng 100 billion. Panoorin po natin ang video, Mr. President.
Sabi niya, ang pagkaalam niya, kasama si Yusek Adrian Bersamin. 8 billion pesos, Mr. President, in at least 10 deliveries. The modus that yung arrangement nila is, may tigisa silang armor van. May armor van si Yusek Olaybar, may armor van siya, magpapark sa basement ng Diamond Hotel, darating yung van driven by Olaybar, and possibly, sabi niya, hindi siya sigurado, and possibly, along with Adrian Bersamin. Bakante yung armor van, ipapark, idadrab yung isang van na puno ng pera. Ranging from 800 million hanggang 2 billion. Umabot ng 2 billion only because sometime in March, yung kanyang date na sinasabi from, I think, March hanggang April, yung delivery. Very good nga raw siya, sabi ni Yusek Olaybar, kasi nakakapag-deliver. Ang biggest kasi naipon because March 11,
Ngunit kailanman na hindi po naimbitahan si Yusek Adrian Bersamin upang harapin at linawin ang akusasyong ito na mismong chairman pa ang nagsiwalat sa plenaryo. Earlier, on November 14, 2025, in an ambush interview, he already disputed the statement of Saldico about the alleged 100 billion insertions allegedly made by the President in the BICAM. Ang malinaw rito, Mr. President, ay magkakaibang pahayag at pagkakaunawa sa parehong issue. Isang senyalis ng kontradiksyon na posibleng pagmamanipula na dapat sana'y malinaw at tapat sa publiko. This becomes particularly concerning in light of the second supplemental affidavit of former DPWH Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo dated November 10, 2025, where he disclosed that he handled 5 billion worth of projects for former DPWH Secretary Manuel Bunoan each year from 2023, 24 to 25, with kickbacks of 15% therefrom. From this kickback, 75% will be shared by Bunoan and Cabral. The 25% goes to Bernardo. Pinayagan din ng chairman ng BRC ang pakikialam ng DOJ sa mga pagdinig, lalo na sa pagpili ng mga gagawing testigo sa ilalim ng Witness Protection Program. Ito ay sa pamamagitan ng sapilitang pagre-require ng restitution na hindi naman hinihingi ng batas. Hindi rin po binigyan ng pansin ang mga naging kaganapan sa number 30 Tamarin Street, South Forbes, na binigyang diin ni Saldico sa isa sa marami niyang video revelations. Sinabi ni Saldico na nag-deliver siya ng 1 billion sa lugar na yon, 200 million noong December 2, 2025 at 800 million noong December 5, 2025. Ayon po kay Saldico, ang paghahatid ng 200 million ay ginamitan ng isang Grandia Elite. Yun namang 800 million ay ginamitan ng dalawang Grandia Elite. Ang mga ito ay tinanggap di umano ni Yusek Jojo Cadiz sakay ng kanyang Toyota Fortuner kasama ang kanyang driver. Ang mga perang ito ay inihatid daw sa bahay ng Pangulo sa Naray Street gamit ang mga nabanggit. Inimbitahan upang linawin at maimbestigahan ang bagay na ito. Sa Yusek Jojo Cadiz at ang kanyang driver, ang mga opisyalis ng korporasyon na may-ari raw ng bahay, si Nelson Go na dami raw ni Martin Romualdez sa nasabing korporasyon, ang security agency na bantay sa nasabing lugar upang makuha ang logbook ng pagpasok at paglabas ng mga sasakyan noong December 2 at December 5, 2025, o kaya ang CCTV footages para makilalang ganap ang mga sasakyan at drivers na may dala ng mga sasakyan at sa pagitan ng alas 9 hanggang alas 10 ng umaga.